Hello, everyone. Welcome to our reading session for today. Thank you so much for being here, guys. And today, you guys know that we are going to continue our reading English session. And this session is all about where we read, find our best to decode words, our English words, so that we can call them correctly. Guys, today, we are going to continue with our topic on hobbies. And we have already completed this slide. And so now we are going to move on to our next slide today, reading about how hobbies become real jobs. So sometimes your hobby can become your real job. And that's what we're going to put a lot of focus on today. So if you guys are ready for that, then let me see you type ready in the comment section. And mm, please, guys, go ahead and let us know where you're from, where you're tuning in from. And please know that we appreciate you being here. So go ahead, tell us where you're from in the comments section. It is always good to know where you're from so that we can tailor the instructions to suit you. All right, so let's see where you're from, guys. Come on in the comment section, each and every one. Tell us where you're from in the comment section so that we can know how to tailor instructions to suit your needs. The toxic guys, proud of you lovely people in the comment section. And thank you so much for being here. Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time it is where you are. We appreciate you being here. All right, so that was just our marketing check to ensure that you are hearing the audio very well. And let's begin with our reading for today. And guys, don't forget, please get active in the comment section. Go ahead and know might be interested in learning how to read English and persons who are really practicing very hard, share out the live with them. All right. Come on, guys. Let's see, sharing out that art. Let's see how you're doing today. Hey, so now that you have completed sharing out the live, we're going to be reading English. Oh, guys, do you really enjoy reading English? Is that you English vocabulary too? It's something that you should be interested in as a learner of English so that you can really want to be taking those words in starts. That's where we take them step by step, and we're going to focus on our pronunciation of the words in English. We're also going to be taking a deeper look at the vocabulary of each word and sentences and phrases and also word by word so that you can improve your fluency. And let's hope that your English reading fluency would be improved at the end of this session. let's begin reading in Italian for you to remember because remember in English and in other languages, depending on the name, it can be pronounced in different ways. If there are multiple ways or songs for the variation of the graphemes or letters. So let the CH makes it sound like ish and the E. The remember anytime you have two letters together, a lot of times in the words you would hear one sound. So we hear ish, mish, and then we get Michelle. The end is silent. And this name is popularly pronounced this way. However, in some cases, you can hear the CH being pronounced as kid, so you can hear Mikel. Sometimes you can hear the E at the end being pronounced too, and you can hear Mikeli. So you have to be very careful to listen to the person in terms of their pronunciation of their name. However, if you are generally reading the name, then the safest way to read it is Michelle. Okay. All right. So let's look at our next word. S and P together. So we just put them together. Split. And so we just split and spent. All right. Please pay attention to end because a lot of English words end with that sound, or a lot of English word has that rhyme. So spent is the past tense for the word spend. All right. So basically, when you spend something, how do I spend? Okay. Sorry, guys. I just had a little hold back. All right, guys. So when you spend something, it simply means that you pay out, or you can say you pay out something, or you even expend something. Another word that you can use for spend is like when you give your time, you can say that you spent time, or you, in a lot of cases, you can say that you have used up something, or you have consumed something when you use the word spent. All right, so w, two e's together make the sound e. Then we hear, so we hear w, e, w, e, week, week, and this week is like the days of the week, as in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and this week would be considered a period of 7 days. So when you have a week, as in with two E's, it is a period of 7 days. All right. Our next word, we have e. So in this one, you're not hearing the E saying E. Instead, you hear e. So we hear egg, deck, or decor, and then you have a, because in the root word, the e at the end would be silent, and then you would have the a saying a. All right, then you have to. So we have deck or a, decorate. Remember the song for ing, the I makes sound a and then G together. We hear ng. When we put them together, we hear ing, ing. So now let's put the whole word together. Decorate, decorate, and ing, decorating. So our word is decorating. All right. So remember, this part goes together. It's not the D and E same D, right? Not in all words that begins with DE, you would hear the E say E. In some of the words, you'll hear E, the short sound. So we have deck, or, and E. Remember the root word, the E would be at the end silent, all right? And then the ing would say ing. So we hear decorating. So our word is decorating, all right? Decorating. What does it mean to decorate something? So when you decorate something, it simply means that you add to it. And when you add to it, it means that you make it more attractive. So it's going to be looking more attractive. And you can say you adorn it. You can also say that you have enriched it when you're decorating. All right. So whether you add images to it or you add other ornaments and stuff like that to it, then that would mean that you are decorating it. That's where you make it more attractive. All right. Our next word, we have SMT together, make the sound st. Then the U makes a short U sound. So we hear oop. So we hear st, ooh, and then d. Then we hear the I make the sound it and o. O is making a long sound. The I makes a short sound. So we put it together. We hear st, ooh. Remember the U makes a short U sound. A lot of the times in longer words, so we hear st, ooh, the E, and then O. Studio, studio. And the word audio could look very familiar. It's just replacing the SMT and putting an A. All right. And then you hear the A and U say R and D and E and O. Audio. So audio is a word that rhymes with studio because they have the same ending sound. All right. So I guess now we can read this line. So let's go ahead and read the line. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio. All right. Remember what we say spent means? It means when you have used up something or when you have consumed. And in this case, it will mean that she have used up her time or she have consumed her time. And week is a period of 7 days. Decorate means to add more to something in terms of images or colors. And this would help to enhance its beauty or it would adorn it. Adorn is another word that we can use for decorate. Or we can say that it makes it more attractive. So when you decorate, you make something more attractive. So now let's look at the word studio. And this is for those of you who are just joining so that you can have a feel of what we have completed before. So, what is a studio? And yesterday we did the word studio. So, in our previous live, the word studio is done. And we said that studio is basically a workroom, and you can also call it a workshop. It is just a place where you would find like artists, photographers, or sculptors where they would do their work from, or, or even those persons involved in film or television production. You would have them work in a room, and that room would be called a studio. Painters, they would work in studios too. All right. The place where you may even study, you may call it a studio also. Studio these days, a lot of times is also referred to as apartment that is very small with just a room for you to like sleeping, a little kitchen, and a bathroom. You would call that a studio apartment, a kind of one room apartment where everything is included. You call so that's studios. Our next word is this word. And we just call this word, however, we are now seeing it. So let's break it down. So we have at, then we have true, a true, then act, attract. So we can put act together, attract, and then we have a, the short I sound. Yeah, the end is silent, and we have v. So we have if. In English, you can basically say that IVE at the end of words, it has two different sounds. Sometimes you hear if, like in live, and sometimes you hear I've, as in I've, right? And that would help you a lot when reading words with IVE at the end of them. So we can also put this as a word because this is a word trapped. You can put trapped as a word there, and we can say at and trapped. Trapped, which would be the root word, attract, and then we add eva, attractive. So that's our word. And attractive means the same as decorating something. When you when you are decorating something, you want to make it look more attractive. So you're adding to it to make it attractive. All right. So let's keep going. Our next word here is all, call, and then the U is silent, and then we hear the OR says or. So when you put it together, we have k, all, call, color, color. We add S once we can call the word. All right. In the American spelling, this would be OR instead of OUR. Remember, I am using British English, so because of that, I would use the UR to spell the word. But American spelling would be COLOR. All right? So they would not have the U added. All you have to remember if you are using the British spelling that the U is silent and the OR goes together to say oh. So colors, color. All right, so you'll know the word any format you see it. Good, let's keep going. Our next word, we have with, give, give, and E would be here if we looking at the root word, like in the word attractive, you see IVE, within the song give, In the root word give, is we're using the root word give, and then we add the ing. So we have give and in, given, giving. All right. So giving would tell us that the action is happening now. All right. It's a continuous tense verb when it's written with ing. All right. So what does it mean when we talk about giving? So when we give, it simply means that we basically transfer something. And when we transfer that thing, a lot of the times we, well, I should say, we should not have any expectations to receive, right? So giving is when we transfer something, we don't have any expectation to receive. So, for example, we give love and we do not have an expectation to receive. We may give care to somebody who needs it, and we do not have expectation to receive care. All right. So that's what good means. Sorry, giving. Our next word, we hear OW, say O, and N says mean. So we put it together, we hear own, own. Remember, OW has different sounds. It can say O, it can say our. So in this one, O, own. All right. So now we can read this line first, and then we read the two together. With lots of attractive colors, giving it her own. All right, let's read it one more time. With lots of attract from the top. All right, if you're ready to go, let's read from the top. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own. All right. So, guys, there you have it. We have just completed the two lines. Let's now read from the top. And who is here with me? Go ahead and let me know you're here with me. So let's go. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own. All right, let's try it again. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own. Right? So remember, when you're practicing to read English, to always take it step by step. When you take it step by step, you're going to be improving in your English significantly. All right, so you have to take it in strides. Let's read across one more time. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own. All right, let's try it one more time. And this time, let's do it fluently. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own. All right. So, what does the word attractive mean? When something is attractive, a lot of times, the first word we say is that it is lovely. We also say that this thing is pleasing to us. We say that it's beautiful. We can say that it's pretty. It's stunning. It is God, yes. Lately, we have also been hearing others saying that it's winning, right? So that's a term that we hear a lot lately. We have been open also to the term of captivating when we talk about something that's attractive. Something that's attractive would also be something that is good looking, all right? So if you have those, good to go. Another word you can use is charming too. All right, for you, in this word says out. The CH in this word makes the ch sound like in chips. So we get to, ch, touch, only three sounds, to, ch, touch. And touch is an action that we do every day of our lives. Whether we touch something with our feet, sometimes our body may touch something, sometimes with our hands. It's something that we do all the time. So when we touch something, it simply means that we come into contact with that thing, or that we press on that thing, or that that thing tap on our skin, or when something push us, we can say that we touch it. Or when we push something, we can say that we touch it too. So that's something that you're going to be doing all the time. That's where you take your hands, for example, and let's say you put it on a surface, that is you touching it. Once you're putting it there lightly, then you say you touch it. And we can touch things and we can touch people around us. All right. Also, the word touch can mean that you feel something. For example, if I say a song that you're singing, it touches me or it touched me, it simply means that I felt that song, right? That it caused me some sort of emotion. So we can also use touch in that way. Okay. When you be silent, so we have ensure, and then now we use the sound it, the energy we hear need, put them together, we hear in. So what's the root word? Ensure. Ensure. Now we're going to be adding in. We hear ensuring, ensuring, ensuring. The word is ensuring. Good. If you got that, hooray. All right. Our next word. So we have to look, get the meaning for the word ensuring. We did not complete what ensuring means. So when you ensure something or you're ensuring that something happens, it simply means that you are safeguarding it. You can also say that you're making sure. Another word for another phrase that we can use for ensuring, make sure something happens or make sure that something will occur or we secure it. Uh, a lot of times you hear native speakers say, I'll see to it. They see to it. When you see to something, it means that you are making sure that this thing has been done. Or we can use the word secure or guarantee. when you ensure. Also, you can use the phrase make certain. So when you ensure something, you make certain that that thing happened, or you are actually making sure that it happens, or guaranteeing or securing it so that it can happen. Our next word is this word. We have ev, then we have the E silent. We put the R and Y to say R, and the Y would end so speak. So we hear ev, R, E, every. All right. In English, we do not say every. We do not put the E and R together to say We will say ev and then R, E, every. So always remember the E here is silent because we do not say every. All right. So every, that's a word by itself. And our next word, TNH, we get our tongue between our teeth, the voice sound, the voiceless sound, and then we hear INGA, need, ing. Remember INGs together, ing. Our word here, thing, ing, thing, thing, thing. So thing is a word by itself. So when we say everything, so we are putting them together, everything, then we are talking about all of something. All right? Everything would mean all of that thing. Okay, guys. So we have all that vocabulary. And now we're moving here. So in this word, we hear the R makes R. The I makes this long I sound. I, that's where it calls its name. The GH is silent. The T makes the sound too. So we hear R, I, t, right. All right? Whenever you're spelling this word, always remember that there's a GH after the vowel I, and that GH is silent. So in English, GH inside of a word, normally it would be silent. When it comes at the end of the word too, it would be silent. All right? When it begins a word, then a lot of times when it begins a word, the G would make the sound and the H stays silent. Or in some cases, the H would make a sound and the G stays silent. So you have to always look out for these combinations. But remember how they are being used. Okay? When GH is inside or at the end of the word, it's silent. So we hear R, I, a long I sound, then we hear T, right. And right would mean what? So definitely you have two meanings for right. You have that meaning where when something is right, it means that it is correct. All right. And then you have when something is right, it means that it is in that position where right is. Right? Right. So, or acceptable, or that thing is correct, then you would say that it is right. And that would come from the word righteous. Or when something is true or something is a fact, you would say it's right. Also, you have right in terms of the position. So when you have your left your right hand, sorry, pointed to the right direction, then you would say that something is on the right side or I am turning right. So it can be used in two different ways. All right, our next word, we have SMT together. We have scoop. Remember, E's at the end, when the E's at the end is silent. A lot of the times, the vowel that comes before would call its name, but there are times when it would make a short sound. So you have to learn the words to know which one you would use the short sound, which one you use the long sound. When C comes before E, I or Y, most times it makes a sound like S. So here we hear is. Remember the E silent. So this word by itself says is. So like when you've done something very well, excellently, then you say you aced it. This is the word is for that. And when we add S and P now, we have scoop is space. Now, space is what we are familiar with. All the time we hear about space. So space is actually when you have an area that is free or available, you call it a space. A room can be a space. So an area that is free or available that is not occupied, you can call it a space. For example, a room can be a space. For example, if you're going to place something on a desk, you can place it in a space that you want. So maybe there is an area on the desk that does not have anything there. You would say, I'm putting it in this space. All right. So now we're going to be reading that whole part there, and then we're going to read through the sentence. If you're ready for that, guys, stay ready because we're all ready for that. I'm sure that you are going to do very well at this. So let's begin. Touched by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. Let's read it one more time and then you're going to read from the top. All right? So let's begin. Touched by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. Very good. If you're able to call all those words, then you just did an amazing job. So we're going to go from the top, calling these words again. Then you're going to be Michelle, spent, week, decorating, decorating, studio, studio, attractive, attractive, colors, colors, giving, giving, own, own. All right. So now we are going to see if you can read all these parts by yourself. How to call the words. But at the end, we're going to be removing the marks. Don't forget that. All right? Michelle, we always touch by ensuring that she had everything in the right place. All right. How do you feel about that? Do you think that you just did an awesome job? Well, I'm thinking that we are good. So we're going to be practicing cooking. And let's see how you remember how to call the words. All right. So let's go again. And guys, if you haven't given the live a thumbs up, please give the live a thumbs up. And I'm gonna be shouting out those of you who are here. So go ahead and comment in the comment section, and we are going to be giving a shout out once we complete reading another time. And then we're going to free talk about what we have just read. So get ready to free talk. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors. But she had everything. We'll read it one more time and then do the free talk. Try to stay fluent. So Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attraction that she had everything in the right space. Good job. All right, now it's time for us to free talk. I'm going to the comment section to see who we have in the comment section. Hey, Sassy, how are you doing, Sassy? How is your day going? What time is it for you? I think it's night time where you are, right? It's night time in Pakistan. Is it night time? Let me know. It's good to have you, Sassy. So for free talk, let's talk about decorating. Have you decorated somewhere before? Have you decorated a space before? So tell me, have you decorated a space before? Is there a space that you have decorated before? So here we have read about Michelle decorating her studio. We have read that she did give it her own touch by making sure that she had everything in the right space. So when you give your own touch to something, what does it mean to give your own touch to it? What does it mean to give your own anyone? Come on, guys. So let's say that I am doing something, I am remaking my room, or I am redecorating my room, as in my bedroom, and I am giving my own touch to it. It simply means that I am giving my or what I like to it. So, for example, the other parts of my house might be painted in white because maybe my husband likes white, or maybe it's better because of the children. You can always easily repaint it, right? I might prefer to put it in a color that I like. And because I put it in a color that I like for, when you do that, that is your own touch or whatever your idea is, that is your own touch. So it's not based on others' thinking or what others want. It is based on you, right? That thing could make you feel special or it can make you happy. All right. So, what is a way that you would decorate your own space if that makes you happy? So, for example, in terms of you decorating a book, let's say you have a notebook and you are decorating your notebook. What is something that you might add to it that would make you happy? For example, if I'm decorating a notebook, something that I would definitely add to it to make me feel happy might be a flower. So I like flower designs. So if I add a flower design to it, that might help to cheer me up and I might feel very happy. So every time I see it, I might feel happy. Also, I might add something like an affirmation to it, like a quote that I may like, a Bible verse that I may like, something that really makes me happy, or something that cheers me up. I would add that to it. A saying that cheer you up is something that you can add to your decoration. For example, when some persons are decorating their homes, they would have different quotes on their walls. For example, they may have a quote that says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. And that would remind them every day that anything that they do, they can do it because of their faith. And you may have something to. So I want you to share something that you may write on your wall that may inspire you or that might be a great reminder to you each day. So you would decorate your wall with that thing. Ah, Sassy says it's 8:53 p.m. Wow, Sassy, it's nearly bedtime. Okay, are you a late sleeper or you sleep early? Sassy said, I painted my rooms. Oh, you learn from YouTube. Wow. Sassy, that sounds so cool. I'm so happy that you've learned from YouTube how to paint your rooms. And I'm sure that you did it because it's something that you saw and you like, right? And that would be you giving it your own touch or you adding your personal touch to it. So another way that you can say you have given something your own touch is to say that you add your personal touch to it. All right. So I hope you're now able to use that vocabulary and that it would enhance your speaking in terms of having conversations with others. So that's a nice one, Sassy. All right, guys. Is there anything else you want to tell us about? Have you ever created a studio before? As in maybe a place where you study space? Because your office space can also be called a studio. Have you ever created one before? Let me know if you have done one before and how you decorated it. Did you add a lot of attractive colors or did you just leave it plain with like a one color, like white or even blue? Go ahead, guys, and tell us. And did you do it because it is your preference? Because I work night shift, 1 a.m. Wow, you are a late sleeper, Sassy. That's good that you like stay or um it's too often so that it gets your body feeling drained. So I hope that you are able to get sleep. Always love it when you can share. It's always a pleasure to have you sharing with me. All right. And you guys can let me know too if you have TikTok so that and because on TikTok you can learn like simple things and I'm thinking that it can help to improve your vocabulary. All right, guys, so let's continue. So our next word we hear past tense for the word me, me, then we hear ik, like ik, and then the you in this word says you. Just like in the word studio, we hear u, here. Longer words, the song for the you can hear u or you. So here we hear you. So metik, so we have ik and you, and then we hear l, and the O is silent, and the US makes the sound us. So we have meticulous, meticulous. Always remember, OUS is an ending for a lot of English words, but the O is silent, and the US makes the sound us. So we hear metic, you, and loss, meticulous. And the ly at the end, the y says e, so we hear lee. The ly here says lee, meticulously, meticulously. All right. So if you're able to call that long word, then you did a good job. If you want me to repeat the word, please type it in the comment section so that I can repeat it and you can be able to call it well. So when you're doing, put a lot of attention into it or a lot of um care into the work. All right. So always try your best in whatever you yourself that you put a lot of care into it and that your work would be one of the best that you've done. Or it would always turn out India. Wow. And that. Thank you for that So guys, I noticed that you guys are not seeing the screen, so I am resharing the screen. I am so sorry for that pause. My apologies for the pause, guys. Let me know if you heard the word meticulously and if you have seen all of what I have done with the word meticulously. So I'll just go over it because I want to ensure that you get to know the word. All right, my apologies. So remember, we hear met as in the past tense for the word meet. Then we hear ik, IMC together, ik. A lot of words end with ik in English. Then we hear the U make the long U sound. That's why it says you. So we hear metik, you. Then we hear l. The OUS makes the sound us. The US makes the sound, the O is silent. So for spelling purposes, always remember that there's an O before the US. And together they all say us. And then we put the whole word together. We hear met, ik, you, we, us, meticulous, meticulous, meticulous. Then we add we, and the Y at the end makes an E sound. So we hear meticulously, meticulously. All right. So the word is meticulously. When you do something meticulously, it simply means that you have done that thing carefully. You have done it thoroughly. You have paid great attention to the details of this thing. All right. So it means that you took a lot of care into whatever you were doing. So when you do something carefully, you can say you have done it meticulously. For example, your work, when you're working, I'm sure that you work meticulously. That's where you take all the care into what you're doing. So let me know if you work meticulously. Do we work meticulously? For some of us, we do it, but we do not always do it because sometimes it's very hard to work meticulously all the time. Sometimes you might be in a rush, you might be pressed for time, as in you don't have enough time to complete the work. And so there are times when you have to rush through it. And this can be one point when you do not show that meticulous style work. So go ahead, guys, type in the comment section. Let me know if you are the person that like to work meticulously. That's where you take all the care in the world to ensure that whatever you do it to the best of your ability. All right. Good, guys. So let's go to the next word here. Maybe you would have heard this one before. So we have C and R together making the sound purr. The E makes the sound E. The A also makes the sound A. So we hear create, create, and then we add the ED sound. Because the last sound we heard in the word is the T sound, the ED would make the D sound. Sorry, the id sound. That's a mistake, guys. Anytime the word ends with T or D, the ED would make the id sound. So we hear cr, e, it, create, and id, created, created. When you create something, it simply means that you are the one that bring this thing into existence, that you were the one who designed it, make it, came up with the idea, you build it, or you produce it, or we can say you were the one that framed it, or you were the one who shaped it, or formed it, or developed it, or you were the one who launched it, or started it, or organized it. You were the one who got it moving. And here you can say you created it. All right. So created there is used in the past tense form. Okay, guys, if you have all this together, have you ever created anything? Let me know something that you have created before. Our next word we get true, ib. So the rhyme ib, like in the word nib and crib. And then we hear trib. The U again makes it sound like you, the long sound. So we get trib, you, tribute. The N is silent. Remember when E's at the end silent, a lot of times the vowel that comes before would call its name. In some cases, it does not. In some cases, it will make the short sound. So we have trib and you, tribute. So the word is tribute. What is a tribute? We hear about tribute all the time. What does it mean to make a tribute? When you make a tribute, it simply means that you make a statement to show gratitude, to show respect, or to show your love or admiration for someone in something that they would have done. So basically, a tribute can also be seen as like you giving a commendation or like you even saluting someone, celebrating someone. It's like, adding glory to someone. And a lot of times you would find people giving tributes to people when they have passed away. You would hear tributes that are being rendered to them. Also, you would hear tributes in the form of like somebody giving an award to someone or when somebody's honoring someone. Um, so if somebody would have accomplished something very great, somebody would give a tribute to them. All right. Our next word is this word can be pronounced two different ways. You can say a and say r, e, and a, and that would be area, area. And the next pronunciation, you can say air using the ARE as air, like in the word care. And then you say air, E, and A. So you hear area, area. So the two pronunciation, one is British and one is the American pronunciation. One you hear area, and the next one you hear area. What is an area? So area is all around us. Basically, when we talk about an area, we're actually talking about a part of something, or we are talking about the size of something or the scope of something. We can also be talking about a set region or a set district. We can be talking about, like in some cases, a parish, or we can be talking about a spot. Any of those, we can use them to talk about an area. So an area is actually a part of a place. An area is a part of a place. All right. Our next word, and we did this word a lot of days now. So we have gr and the small word and. We add the to make it into another word and. So we have grand. Grand means when something is big or when something is large. Then we have uh, the th makes the sound. We have mud and the mother. So we have mud, mother, mother. So when you put the two words together, we have grandmother, grandmother. And you know who is a mother? A mother is actually someone who gives birth to a child, or someone who, or a woman, so we should say a woman who gives birth to a child, or a woman who adopts a child. You can call that woman a mother. A grandmother now would be a bigger mother. So the grandmother would be your parents' mother, your mother's mother, your father's mother. That's whom you would call grandmother. Our next word, WH, makes the sound W. In this one, the H is silent, the W makes a sound. Sometimes you can hear the H make the sound and the W stay silent. So you have to also look out for those words. So we hear W. The ERE in this word says air, air, like in the word here or there. You hear whoop, air, where. When you ask where, you're actually asking for a location or for a place. When you ask where, you're asking for a location or a place. All right. Our next word is um. Remember energy together. So we hear huh, mm, hung, hung. So hung is the past tense for the word hang. Hung is the past tense for the word hang. What does it mean to hang something up on a wall? What does it mean to hang something? So basically, when you hang something, it simply means that you put that thing in a way that the it fastens something to support it at the top, and then the bottom part is left free to move, right? So you fasten something at the top, and the bottom part is left free to move. So that would be what you would consider hang. And hung is the past tense for the word hang. So, right, for example, when you say something dangle, it means that it is actually something that you have hung up or something that is hung. You would say that it dangles. All right. So when you fasten something at the top so that it stays there fixed, and then the bottom part or the lower part is able to move freely, then that's what you do, or termed as hung. The past tense for the word hands. Our next word, we hear a, me. The CI makes it sound like SH. So we hear sh. So we hear a, me, sh, in, sh. And then we hear and, ancient. Remember, we saw this ending in the word spent, and I told you pay close attention to it because you find that ending in a lot of English words. Okay, and the NMT comes together to say neat. So we have and. All right. So when we put all that together, we have a, me, in, the ci, sh, and then ent, ancient, ancient. So our word is ancient, ancient. What does it mean when you talk about something being ancient? What does it mean when something is ancient? Have you ever had anything that is ancient before? Well, if you say something is ancient, it means that that thing is from long ago, or that thing is in the past. Or some persons would say that thing is something that is over, or that thing is something that is bygone, right? So something that is very old, you would call that ancient. Something that is from a long time ago, you call that ancient. All right. So I hope that that word, you put it in your vocabulary. Also remember with this word, whenever you're spelling, you have to be very careful to remember that the CI is what is making the sound of the CI here is what makes the sound like SA and not SH. So you hear A, me, and sh, then ent, ancient, something that is very old or from a long time ago or in the past, you call it ancient. Our next word, we have a, the, so we hear p, a, meat, paint, the energy, meat, paint. Then we have the ing sound, paint, ing, a, need, ing, painting, painting. What does it mean to paint? When you paint, it simply means that you use a colored substance with a brush, just spread that or wipe that across the surface of something, and it would burn it, or it can be a protective layer for that thing or a coating. That is what it means to paint. Our next word, we have the small word be. The E makes a long sound E. So you get B, E, B. Then we have R, R, then G together. So we hear R, long, R, long. So we put the two parts together. B, long, belong. Then we add the ED sound, and the ED sound in this one would be D. So we say belonged, belonged, belonged. Why do we add a D sound for the ED? Because we can hear the last sound. The G, we can hear the sound for G, we can hear G. Once you can hear the sound at the end, you add the D sound for the ED. So we hear belong. When something belongs, it means that you own that thing. For something to belong, it means that you own it, or it means that it is your possession. All right? So when it belongs, it is your possession, or it means that you own it. All right? Or some persons may say that it is your property. It is your property. So whether you want to say that it's you own it, it is your property, or it belongs, or you have ownership towards it, or you want to say that it is yours, then you would say belong. And our last word, we just did this word a while ago, right here. And here we're going to be doing it again. Tune out together, good. And we add the and grand, meaning big or large. Then we have the mother, the word mother, a, TNH, it's the song in the word, and here the ER says so we have mud, mother, mother. So we have grandmother, grandmother. Grandmother would be the bigger mother, so grandmother would be your mother's mother, your father's mother, or you can say your parents' mother is your grandmother. All right. So in American English, you'll hear grandmother. Americans would say grand. The British, you would hear grandmother. All right. So it depends on which English you, American English. For British English, you would say grandmother. All right. I'm using the British English, so you'll hear me say grandmother. All right, so let's go ahead and let's practice to review this sentence. Remember the word meticulously, meticulously, created, created, tribute, tribute, grandmother, grandmother, area, area, where, where, hung, hung, ancient, ancient, painting, painting, belonged, 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 grandmother, grandmother. All right, are you ready to read now? Let's try and read through this sentence. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother, where she hung an ancient painting that belongs to her grandmother. Let's read it one more time. You ready to go? I'm ready. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother, where she hung an ancient painting that belonged to her grandmother. All right. Remember what we said the word tribute means? A tribute is actually something that is done to honor someone. It can be like an award, or it can be just a statement that shows gratitude, respect, or love or admiration, or it can be a gift that shows love, admiration, or respect, or it can be something that is done in that person's honor. All right? Something that is done in that person's honor. All right. So now, guys, we're going to be reading from the top. You think you're ready to handle that one? To the comments. I'm going to go to the comments. So let me know in the comments. Do you think you're able to read it from the top now? Hi, see Pearl. How are you? Oh, rising and falling intonation. Ah, that's what you were practicing? Let me know if that's what you're practicing. Sassy says, I wrote and created BBA math proof, which shortened my 40 minutes manual assignment work to just 10 minutes. Wow, Sassy, that is so good. Super. Congratulations. That is really good. I'm so happy to hear that, Sassy. Wow. Sassy, you got this going. Very good. You aced it, Sassy. Good job. You remember that word I taught you guys a while ago? Where we talked about space. I said ace is in the word, and ace means when you did extremely well, you did an awesome job. So that is good, Sassy. You aced it. Nice. I'm so happy to hear that you were able to create something. That's awesome. I can imagine how much it shortens your time of getting your work done now. Really good. So C4 is saying rising and falling intonations. That's what you're practicing. C4, rising and falling intonations. C4, sometimes your rising and falling intonations, they depends on the words that you put a lot of stress into. That's why a lot of times I will teach you guys how to read using phrases also. When you read using phrases, it helps you to be able to really look at your rising and your falling intonations. All right. So now we're going to be practicing to read from the top. And people, you can see how well you can do with the rising and falling intonations now that we're going to practice to read from the top. All right. So let's go. Remember, we are practicing everything. Ready to go? I'm ready. Let's go. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother where she hung an ancient painting that belonged to her grandmother. All right. So, C4, a lot of the times when you read in English, you find that you start out by rising your intonation, your intonation, and then I now notice that our screen has dropped. So I'm going to replace the screen. My apologies for that. Sometimes this happens and I'm not so aware. All right, but my apologies. So if you practice phrase reading, you would get the rising and the falling tone better. But I think sometimes it just goes with a lot of practice. So always try to rise your tone when you begin reading, and then you drop your tone when you're coming closer to the ending. Also, rise your tone whenever there's a word that we really want to show emphasis on, which means we want to stress that word so that the reader can understand, the listener can understand that this word has a lot of context for the story so that they can understand what we're reading or comprehend what we're reading or listening to. All right. So let's practice reading it one more time. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own touch by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother, where she found an ancient painting that belonged to her grandmother. All right? So always remember when you come to the end, drop your tone right back. And all this is to help you not to sound monotone when you're reading. So you don't sound as though you're reading from one tone of voice. You keep rising and falling. And just to create that expression for your listener to understand, or for you yourself as a reader to really understand the context of the story. All right. So if you think you got that, guys, let me know. We're going to just read it one more time. Then we can free talk about anything that you wish to free talk about. We can free talk about ancient paintings. We can free talk about a tribute that you have done before. We can also free talk about something that belonged to your grandmother. So those are the main themes that are coming out here, and those are the ones that we can really zoom in on, or we can pay lots of attention to. So we can either talk about a tribute that we've done before, or we can talk about something that you have done meticulously, carefully, some of creative. So, or we can talk about something that belonged to your grandmother, or you can talk about something like an ancient painting that you have seen or one that you have done. All right, so let's begin. If you're ready, guys, type ready in the comment section. Let's go right through the story now. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own touch by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother, where she found an ancient painting that belonged to her grandmother. Remember, this word is ancient. So I just made a mistake and I cut the word short as in the song. So we're going to repeat it so that we can have the song being heard correctly. And at this point, we're going to also remove all the clues from on the storyboard. It will help you to remember the parts of the words and so on, so that you guys can read without having any hints or any clues to the words. And this would show that you have now mastered the text. Let's begin. Ready to go? I'm ready. So let's begin. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own touch by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother where she found an ancient painting that belonged to her grandmother. How was that? Do you now think reading English is getting easier? Or do you think it is hard? I think that your English should be improving. If you think so too, then type yes in the comment section. Let's read it one more time. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own touch by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother where she hung an ancient painting that belonged to her grandmother. Once you were able to do that, I'm thinking that your reading looks well. Let's try it one more time. Let's repeat the words before we try it. Grandmother, ancient, hung, painting, belonged, grandmother, wear it. Area, tribute, creative, creative, everything, ensuring, ensuring, touch, touch, attractive, attractive, colors, colors, giving, decorating, decorating, studio, studio, spent, week, Michelle, Michelle. All right, let's read through now one more time to ensure that we are very fluent in reading this text. One more time for our fluency. Ready to go? I'm ready, so let's go. Michelle spent a week decorating her studio with lots of attractive colors, giving it her own touch by ensuring that she had everything in the right space. She meticulously created a tribute area for her grandmother, where she hung an ancient painting that belonged to her grandmother. Once you were able to do that, give yourself a thumbs up because you did very well, extremely well. All right, guys. So remember, now we can free talk. We can free talk on decorating. We can free talk on giving something your personal touch. We can free talk on putting things in the right space. Also about creating things carefully, which means the same as meticulously. We can free talk about a tribute that you have done before, or we can free talk about your grandmother. We can also free talk about ancient paintings. We can free talk about things that belong to you, or we can talk about things that belong to your grandmother. All right. So let me know which one of those topics you want to free talk on. Okay, Sassy says, Mama urges Oh, the president of India urges people to reject that stroke this card. Oh, okay. So here she's saying that the president urges people to reject. So we'll free talk now, guys. Let me put on the free talk screen. Here's where you free talk. If anybody wants to come on screen and free talk, you can do so. Just let me know. I'm gonna change now to where anybody can come on screen. I'm gonna change. So at this point, anyone can come on screen. So if you wish to come on screen, you just to come on screen and then you'll be able to come on screen. All right. So at this point, notify me in the chat, guys. The link is in the chat. You go back to the top of the chat and you would click the link that is there to come up and free talk. If you wish to free talk. All right. So you would have to notify me because I would have to take down the screen to allow you to come up on screen to the free talk. Right. So just let me know if you want to come up to screen to free talk. Just let me know that. Okay? All right. So here's Sassy saying that the president urges people to reject tendencies that stroke discard. So she wants to discuss. All right. So tendencies that would cause discord. Basically, the word stroke, he's talking about anything that would basically uh, kind of confuse others, or it might be something that others may not be able to understand clearly. And so it can cause confusion or it can cause issues or problems. It can also cause people to live in a hostile way because it is causing some sort of difficulty for others, right? So that is what it means when something would cause or strike discord. So some of those tendencies could be things like where people would say bad things to each other, things that are not acceptable in society. Like, for example, they can body shame someone. That is something that is not acceptable in society. And so this can cause discord. And when it says cause discord, it simply means that it is causing problems among other people, or it is causing conflict, or it is causing strife, it is causing disagreement or hostility, or causing persons to live in a hostile way, right? So body shaming can be one of them. It can be um, things like religion sometimes can cause discord among people, it can cause strife, like when persons have different religion and when persons are more or less disrespecting their religion. A lot of persons, whenever their religion are being disrespected, they would feel very bad about it. And this would cause them to want to retaliate, which means they would want to, you know, get up and say something, or they would want to do something. And most often, this might be something that might lead to something bad. And so I can see why he would say that he must not try to cause discord among the others, or you must not try to say things that can cause discord. All right. you have a lot of other things. Sometimes it depends on your society. Uh, Politics, talking politics can be something that can really cause conflict among others, cause a lot of disagreement among others. So you have to be careful in the way that you are having political conversations because not everybody would be on the same political side. And so these are things that can cause people to really get into strife or violence. Some people can get violent um, when talking about politics. They can get very annoyed or they can be agitated easily. And so a lot of them sometimes they would resort to getting violent or getting physically abusive whenever the whole top or even emotionally abusive, right? Whenever the words, political words are being used that they do not like. Another thing that can cause discord can be things like, let's see, I'm trying to think of some others because those that I just said, I think those are relative, especially to my country, that those things do cause a lot of division or cause a lot of strife or conflict among people in my country, the ones that I have mentioned. All right. So if there's any that you are familiar with from your country that you find they might cause people to get violent or to get into conflicts, you can also share them too, because those are just those that I think relative to my country. So let me know what are some that you think from your country. Are you there, Sassy? Let me know if there's anything from your country that you think. And if anyone, any other person on the line has any, you can share it. Okay? If you have any, you can share it. You know, a lot of the times our opinions, right? They can either cause conflict or they can help to cause peace, right? So it's always right for us to really meticulously, which means um, we take that care and that thorough check, paying attention to the details of what we are about to say, and we also think about the consequences that what we say can bring forth. And so with that, we can just try to avoid saying things, even if we think that we want to say them. All right. Because sometimes these things can really touch the hearts of others, which means they really cause them to be emotional and it causes stress on them. And with that, these persons would feel the need to be violent or be abusive or to attack us. So we have to be very, very careful, right, of what we say. And what we say can hurt others. So it's important for us to really be careful in the things that we say, right? So those are some of the things that I think some of them are actually those that I've said in the case of politics, talking about religion, talking body shaming people, talking bad things about their body. Uh, Another one too is relationships. Sometimes the things that we would say when it comes to others' relationship, this can also cause them to feel hurt. And we have to be very careful sometimes with that. Discriminating others, like or stereotyping the things that we say to people that would sound maybe racist, discriminative, or stereotype, right? We have to avoid those types of speech because they can really cause strife. Another thing that might cause it might be in terms of some of the ideas that we hold. They may not be the same ideas that the world holds. It may not be the same worldview, right? So these can be ideas as simple on issues like sports or on everyday life social activities. It can be on things like sports. It can be on things like food, and we take it as something simple, but persons around us, they take it as something big. Yeah. So we have to be very careful on whatever we're doing and saying all the time. Not everybody takes things the same way. Have you ever seen that somebody got in a fight just for saying something about some sports personnel? And you take that and say, that was not necessary. But for others, it is the things that they are passionate about. It is the things that actually sit deep on their hearts. So it's very hard for you to really come to the agreement of what should be said and what should not be said. However, if you think something would come out hurtful, it is always good to keep that and do not say it, especially in a public place. All right? Because you always want to make sure that that thing does not hurt others so that it can cause conflict. So, sassy, that is what it means to sow discord among others, right? When you sow discord, it simply means that you bring things to their lives that are hurtful. So you can say it or you can actually do things that can be hurtful, or these things they can cause them to feel ashamed or embarrassed, or these things because they might really hit on their passion, which means uh they feel like disrespect to their passion. Like for example, if they have a passion for sport or they have a passion for something, and you are disregarding it, then they can feel very good passion. It is always good to try to say good. If you cannot say good, then you just leave it at that. All right. Petroleum decisions on fixing fuel rates on a daily basis. Yeah, these are things, like I said, these are things, simple everyday life issues can, when you say things that would not fit right with others, as in they may not see it the same way that you see it, they can cause conflict, they can cause problems, they can cause strife. Yeah. So simple everyday life um, things, activities or actions, whatever it is, these can cause very hurtful days or stressful days for many people. So we gotta be careful, guys. Always be careful. Watch what you're saying. I always say, I think I have a rule for this, right? Outside of my friends, my close friends, and my family, whom I have a good bond with, and I can actually, relate to them, and I can be my authentic self with them, my true, real self with them. Outside of that, like other people, I always say, if it's not going to benefit them, I'm not going to talk about it. And if it's not going to help them in some way, then it doesn't make sense I say it, right? And for me, I think that's what I live with in terms of when it comes to people that I'm not close with or people that I do not really associate with on an everyday basis, right? I only would say it if it's helpful to them, or I only would do it if it's helpful to them. Unless they ask for my opinion and unless they are really tolerant of my going to be tolerant of my opinion, to respect my opinion. If they're not going to be tolerant about it or respect it, then for me it doesn't make sense I talk about it. All right. So I think that's the mantra that I live by, or that's the motto that I guide myself with daily. All right, guys. So is there anything else that you guys want to free talk about? Let me know, guys. And please type in the comment section topics that you guys would want to see more on so that I can do more of those topics, all right? Because I would really love to help you, each and every one of you, individually as well as collectively. All right, guys. So let me know what topics you think I should do more videos on. For example, if you're traveling, if you are currently working, and you maybe need to add a lot more business words to your job, if you are currently in an activity like a sport, a specific sport, or it might be something that you are venturing to, and you basically want to get more vocabulary surrounding that particular thing, then you can tell me so we can practice on those. All right, guys. So thank you so much for being here today. Sassy, I always appreciate your contributions. Thank you so much for being here. And guys, continue to share the videos with others who are trying to learn English and continue to watch the ads. Okay. It's all free to be here. So all you can do is to watch the ads to keep the channel going. All right. And I do appreciate you in every way. Each and every one of you who from time to time take your time out to be here to learn. You are inspiring me by just your presence, knowing that you're here, that I can help someone. I think that that is the most beautiful thing for me. And so I always look forward to having a fabulous time with you. Even if it's one or two of you, many of you, I always look forward to learning with you because there are things that you can teach me about. Like today, I've learned that TikTok is banned in India. I've never known that before. So I can always learn new things from you as you continue to learn English from me. We can inspire each other. And for me, that is a great joy. And I give thanks for all that. So, guys, I wish you a good day today. If it's daytime, nighttime, a good night. If it's evening time, a good evening. If it's afternoon, a good afternoon. Whatever time it is, guys, you have a great one. And I hope that I can see you guys again soon. Today, I'm going to post a new video of a reading piece that you can practice within your own time. And it's about a few minutes. No, not a few minutes, a few seconds. So you can have time to go through it and you to really, this can really help to build your vocabulary in lots of different ways. And also, it can help to build your reading fluency. I think that this would be the video that I'll post next. I'll post it in about the next 2 or 3 hours. That video would help a lot with you building your reading fluency. And guys, you would let me know if you want me to continue posting more short videos like those so you can continue to build up that fluency. It's always a good thing to practice your fluency. If you have not liked the video yet, please guys like this video, share it with a friend, let them know that you are learning a lot of phonics here in English. You're learning the phonetics of English and how to really decode English words, how to song them out, and how to ultimately blend the words together, the English words together, and be able to pronounce English words so that we can improve your pronunciation when you conversate daily or when you're reading. You can really improve your pronunciation. And basically, your English will develop very nicely as you're able to refine it daily with, new added things. And I'm sure the way that you're learning English here, as in the way that we are really taking a focus into the details of reading English, it becomes easier for you to understand. So all that you can let me know in the comment section, guys. Because I always want to hear from you guys. You can comment here, or you can even find the page on Instagram. Our reading page is on Instagram. You can also text me there on Instagram. So that would be great. You can communicate there on Instagram too. Thank you so much for being here, and I wish you guys a productive day and hope that you guys will just be well and, you know, your English will continue to refine. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it very much and I'll see you guys again. Bye. City. I see. Always show up to learn to read English. Hope to see you again soon to read English as we continue to practice English reading.